Welcome to a special edition of the Scottish Rite Journal podcast, an audio presentation of the Scottish Rite Journal, brought to you by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. This special article is Stain versus Paint by Sovereign Grand Commander Jim Cole, 33rd degree, and comes from the September-October 2022 issue of the Scottish Rite Journal.
Hello, Jim Cole here, Sovereign Grand Commander. I want to talk to you about stain or paint. Stain or paint? This question was posed to me and my wife when we recently decided to spruce up our home's outdoor deck. As is often the case, the question motivated me to consider the symbolism of staining versus painting. Staining, at least the intentional variety, penetrates and changes the appearance of the wood, or perhaps enhances its existing color and tone. Paint, on the other hand, is in effect a colored material that is applied to its exterior. Certainly, both staining and painting have their places. The application of the same stain on two pieces of wood, one from a cherry tree and one from a pine tree, would display the inherent differences in the two species. The internal differences in grain, texture, and inner color would be obvious. However, the flaws of the wood would also become visible and perhaps even pronounced with staining. Painting both woods would also surely create two very similar pieces. If the size and shape were identical, it would be difficult to distinguish between the cherry and the pine. Paint covers the differences in the two woods, but it also has a way of hiding any of the wood's flaws. Freemasonry, well, it can be both a staining and a painting process. Our Masonic principles prompt us to value the differences that each man brings to the door of our lodge. Just as a stain would penetrate within wood, we want our fraternal bonds and teachings to infuse within a brother. We want each brother to display his character and his integrity. Through the teaching of valuable lessons, we try to enrich these strengths and bring them to the surface, or at least bring them into view, so that the world at large can benefit from his service to others. We also use a painting process. Paint creates a more homogeneous picture, just as we strive to highlight the similarities that run through all true Masons. When viewed from outside the fraternity, it is our hope that we are seen as a brotherhood, bonded together by the cement of brotherly love and affection, a temple of living stones, among whom no contention should exist. We share a belief in a supreme being and a willingness to overlook the flaws present in each of us by concentrating on the commonalities we share. It seems that staining and painting are both very valuable processes, especially when applied to our interactions with people. Stain reminds us to look beneath the surface and appreciate a person's inner qualities, while we need to paint over what we perceive as flaws in others. Perhaps more importantly, we should not allow adverse opinions or perceived slights from others to stain us. Instead, we could dab a bit of the paint of friendship, compassion, and patience upon these imperfections, saving just enough in the bucket to use on ourselves if any of our own imperfections show.
If you would like to hear more of the Grand Commander's message from the Scottish Rite Journal, like, share, and please leave a comment.